Welcome to One-on-One on God 101. I'm your host, Julie Shenmoonvez. Our guest today is the one and only Zach Rance from Big Brother 16. Zach, you look incredible.
Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it.
And it's been 9 years, 10 years, 9 or 10 years. It's been almost a decade since you and I have talked because you were on BB16. So we have a lot of catching up to do, but first, God. Did you grow up with faith in your life?
Well, I grew up in a Jewish household, and we weren't a family that went to temple often, but my parents did instill faith inside me. And I've always believed in God. I've always believed that after you die, you go to heaven if you're a good person. And so I've always lived my life under the principles of karma and being a good person. So that's how I was raised. But since then, I've definitely gone deeper into my own spiritual journey, and I have unwavering faith in God. And I have a lot of conviction that if I do right by others and if I do right by myself, and if I'm a good person, then God will bless me in all the ways he already has. So does that answer your question?
It sure does. And it sounds like to me you are practicing the second greatest commandment from the Bible, which is to love one another. And it also sounds like you're practicing the greatest commandment, which is to love God with all your heart, soul, body, every fiber of your being. Is that
Absolutely.
accurate?
Absolutely. Everyone has a different definition for God. And my definition of God is, and I'll do my best to articulate my thoughts, but the trees and the wind and the ocean and the mountains and how everything was put together on earth. And if you love unconditionally, and if you continue to believe and have faith and gospel and hope that life will get better if you work hard, and if you believe that things will always get better, because God always tries to challenge us, and he doesn't put anything in front of us that we can't overcome. So even when you're at the bottom, and even when you feel hopeless, if you have hope and you believe and have faith in God, then it seems like everything will turn around. And even though this is my definition of God today on April 7th, 2023, my definition could change in the future. And I try to embody a lot of humility, that even though this is what I believe right now, when it comes to the universe and spirituality and God and faith, that I'm always looking for different ways to look at it. And I love hearing other people's opinions. And I love learning more about other people's journeys on how they became to, or how they created and cultivated their relationship with God, because, we're all in this together.
In my humble opinion, you nailed it. Your definition of God. He created everything you just listed. We're all God's creation. Now, I can totally see why you are a life coach, hearing you describe God the way you just did. But life, you and I spoke a little bit before we started recording. How was life for you when you got out of the Big Brother house? Because the Zach Rance I'm seeing right now was not the Zach Rance, the crazy, lovable Zach Rance in the house.
Yeah. Life was really tough after Big Brother. I struggled a lot. First and foremost, 2014, summer 2014 on Big Brother 16 was by far the best summer of my life, probably the best experience of my entire life. And if, everyone could tell, we all had an amazing time. And after Big Brother, however, was very challenging, because I came off the show and I had 400,000 Instagram followers and 200,000 Twitter followers and a ton of articles written about me and people posting fan videos and edits of me on YouTube. And it really went to my head. It really, really went to my head. I became an egotistical, pretentious, narcissistic jerk. And I thought I was better than everybody because I had followers, because people were paying me $2,500 to show up to clubs. And it definitely challenged my mental health. My mental health was severely compromised in a negative way. And I turned to drugs and alcohol. And because I was very young, I was 23 at the time, and I got caught up in I don't even know what the right word is, but I got caught up in all of it. I really did.
The celebrity of it all, the fame.
Exactly. Yeah. My 15 minutes of fame. And I thought that it was going to last forever. And that's where I really screwed up. I wish I had a mentor. I wish I had someone who was going to tell me, hey, Zach, the sooner you go back to normal life, the better, because you can't make a career out of being top 3 fan favorite on Big Brother 16. You cannot wear a pink hat and a Gator shirt for the rest of your life. And I hit rock bottom. I was extremely depressed. I was, abusing drugs and alcohol. I spent all the money that I had from Big Brother. I spent all the money that I made from doing meet and greets and Instagram posts. And it was at that moment I was ready to put one foot in front of the other. And it started just like waking up early and reading 5 pages of a book and meditating and praying and eating healthier and waking up earlier. And that all kind of compounded. And I started making more money. And I got into a career in real estate back in 2016. And I started investing my money in real estate, started investing my money on stocks. I started learning more about personal growth and self-development. I started seeking more mentorship. I started to invest more in my own personal growth. And it all kind of just snowballed from there. And I'm still in the very beginning of my journey. I don't want to come on here and have people think that I know everything, because I do not. Humility is something that I really pride myself on. And I'm still learning life and I'm still figuring it out. But I feel like I'm a pretty good mentor for other people that are trying to get sober, that are trying to get out of debt, that are trying to reduce their anxiety medications, and just need a little extra accountability.
You mentioned you did a lot of praying and meditating. What did your prayer life look like back then when you decided, I'm going to come out of the darkness?
Yeah.
And what does it look like today?
Right. So I feel like a lot of people pray for what they need in their life and what they want in their life, but it's better to pray and give thanks to what they already have. And I started to just really feel gratitude, because saying thank you and saying you're grateful is not the same as feeling grateful and feeling thankful. So I started to really learn more about emotional intelligence, and I started really learning more about how I can consciously change my emotions. And I was like, gratitude. Like, even though I have no money in the bank, I'm 25, 26, living with my parents. I have $40,000 of student loan debt. I don't have a career, right? I'm abusing drugs and alcohol. I have my legs and I have opportunities, and I have the internet where I can learn things about money. I can learn things about happiness. I can learn things about personal growth and self-development. So I started to just appreciate the things I already had, and what you appreciate appreciates. So that is how I started praying after Big Brother. Today, a lot of my attention and time goes more towards a meditation practice, which I don't do necessarily for spirituality reasons. I do more meditation for high performance reasons, for brain and cognition reasons, and focus, and to be more present during the day, and to maintain my temper and things like that. But I believe in God wholeheartedly, and I see him every single day. When I'm going on my 5-mile run this morning at the beach, and the wind is just headwinds right into my face, that's God saying, yo, you got to go harder. You got to run harder. So I open my ears and I open my eyes, and I always look for God. I'll be completely honest. I have not prayed lately. I really haven't, but it takes something small like this. Like, this is very impulsive. You reached out very impulsively this week, and our schedules aligned this weekend. So I think this was a little bit of the inspiration I needed to double down on my prayer and get back to serving God in the way I was meant to do.
I love it. Although, I could be wrong, but I do feel like when you use the word meditation, and when I think people say they're meditating, in my opinion, that is a form of being still and being one with God, because he created you. He created all of us. And when you have that meditation, if you're talking to yourself, or you're hearing a voice, you're not talking to yourself. You're actually talking to him. That's what I think. So, but if you want to get more, deep into like what society says prayer is, go for it, Zach Rance.
Will do. Will do.
Was there some pivotal person in your life? Was it your mom or your dad or a best friend who said like, Zach, like this is when you were abusing drugs and alcohol and, conceded, like you were saying, did someone shake you and say like, this is not the person God created you to be? Like, what kickstarted you saying, I can't live like this? Or was it just like your inner being, which is your inner God talking to you?
Yeah, it was a near death experience when I was wasted being an idiot. That really kind of just like woke me up the next morning when I remembered what happened. I was like, oh my God, I'm making terrible decisions. I'm making terrible decisions. But it was one thing that kind of opened my eyes, and it was the mirror. And Zach, you have no money in your bank account. Zach, you have no purpose. You're waking up every day and you're just smoking marijuana and you're listening to terrible music that talks about violence, and you're just so it was really just the mirror. It was like, dude, you need to get $1,000 in your bank account before you do anything else. And that was kind of like what started it. But it was a book that really changed my life. It was a book called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And it's all about consciousness, and it's all about disidentifying from our thoughts and being more aware of our thoughts. Because when we're aware of our thoughts, we can change our thoughts. And that when I became more conscious of my breath, more conscious of the blood flowing in my veins, more conscious of what I give my time, energy, and attention to, that's when I started to really like make more money and be more successful in business and get in better shape. I've ran 3 full Ironman triathlons in the last 3 years. So, I've proven to myself and to other people that I can operate at peak performance in many areas of my life. So it was a book. I seek a lot of mentorship from podcasts. I seek a lot of mentorship from books. Just because I don't physically know the person or have a relationship with them doesn't mean they can't mentor me through a lot of the resources that are free on the internet.
I totally agree. And I love hearing you saying like you woke up about the kind of music you're listening to, or like what you're exposing your eyes and your ears to. It's like junk in, junk out. And now that you're listening to podcasts or reading books that are about, self-help, which I think we say self-help, but I think it all comes from the divine. I love it. All right. We have like a minute and a half left. What are you doing now? Update the world.
What am I doing now? Well, I'm thriving. I'm absolutely thriving in life.
You're a coach.
Well, yeah. So I'm a life coach. Well, when I get asked that question, like, what do you do? We automatically go to our career. We automatically go to our work, but that isn't what defines me, right? What do I do? I live every day as happy as I can be. I live every day to challenge myself. What do I do? I challenge myself. What do I do? I exercise. What do I do? I meditate. So, it's not just about work, but I am a certified life coach. It was back in COVID when I was watching so much news and my mental health was severely impacted in a negative way. And I went on Instagram and I said, hey guys, if your mental health is suffering, schedule a free call. Let's talk about anxiety. Let's talk about depression. And I had about 50 calls in the first 3 days, and I was helping other people. And the best way to learn is to teach. And I'm helping other people with their anxiety, and I'm helping other people with their depression. I'm helping other people stay accountable to daily exercise. And I was like, how can I, leverage this? Turned it into a business. And then when I got my first client, my first client paid me $1,500 for 12 sessions. When I got my first client, I realized the power of it because I now have an obligation to be the best version of myself. So yes, it's a great career. However, I get more value from being a coach because I am now accountable to myself and to other people to step into the greatest version of myself each and every single day.
Zach Rance, keep shining the light within you in every step of your journey. I look forward to hearing how you're doing X amount of time from now, because this is not goodbye. It's goodbye for now.
Absolutely. And Julie, thank you so much for having me on the episode. I love watching all the Instagram videos of other Big Brother players, and it's so great to see you and see you thriving as well. And if you ever need anything, I'm one call away.
I love it. Zach Rance, everybody. Thank you for your time, and God bless you and Godspeed. Keep doing what you're doing.
God bless you as well.